Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the poems now because that's all we have left. And today we've got A Lover's Complaint. We're going to work on stanzas 5 through 8 because yesterday we did 1 through 4, which was just setting the scene. If you remember, we had a narrator who was talking about how he was hanging outside this cave where sad tales are told, and he laid down and he started to hear this new sad tale. He sees a woman over there who's ripping things up and throwing them in the river, and she looks all kinds of disheveled. And picking up at stanza number 5, he says, her hair, nor loose, nor tied in formal plait, proclaimed in her a careless hand of pride. For some, untucked, descended her sheaved hat, hanging her pale and pined cheek beside. Some, in her thread and fillet still did bide, and true to bondage would not break from thence, though slackly braided in loose negligence. 1,000 favors from a monde she drew, of amber, crystal, and of beaded jet, which one by one she in a river threw, upon whose weeping margent she was set, like usury applying wet to wet, or monarch's hands that let not bounty fall, where want cries some, but where excess begs all. Of folded schedules she had many a one, which she perused, sighed, tore, and gave the flood, cracked many a ring of posied gold and bone, bidding them find their sepulchres in mud, found yet more letters sadly penned in blood, with slided silk feet and affectedly enswathed and sealed to curious secrecy. These often bathed she in her flexive eyes, and often kissed, and often gan to tear, cried, O false blood, thou register of lies, what unapproved witness dost thou bear? Ink would have seemed more black and damned here. This said, in top of rage the lines she rents, big discontent so breaking their contents. So this is basically more exposition. This is telling us a bit more about the woman who's standing by a river having a very bad day. It's saying, stanza number 5 is all about her hair. Her hair was once up and braided underneath her hat, but tendrils are falling down around her face. And stanzas 6 through 8 are about her finding and taking things that she's got and throwing them into a river. She has all of these tokens, she has all of this stuff that she just keeps throwing into the river to get rid of it. She's got, like, there's nothing else to do with it. She's going to get rid of it. She's throwing away amber, she's throwing away crystal, she's throwing away letters. But every once in a while, well, probably more often than not, she's looking at the letters or the things that she's throwing into the river, and maybe she cries on them a little bit, or maybe she kisses them a little bit, and then the rage overtakes her, and she's like, I can't even anymore, and she just throws them into the river. So this is all just exposition so far in terms of this woman's state of mind. She's getting rid of all the tokens. I don't know if any of you ever watched Gilmore Girls, but there was like the Dean box and the Rory box. She's throwing away everything that used to be in her Dean box. She's throwing it into a river and crying lots and lots as she's doing that, and going back and forth between angry and sad and all of these other things, while this narrator is just sort of watching it. So considering that the poem is called A Lover's Complaint, we might deduce that she is the lover and she has some other lover to complain about. You think? Maybe? I know. We'll get more into that tomorrow as we dig further into the poem. I'll see you then. Mwah.